Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Martians and aliens. We're not speciesists on this channel. Everybody's welcome. My name's Alan, and welcome to Mars, the second Genesis. Okay guys, we've got another bunch of anomalies in X3D. And yes, this is an X3D viewing channel, and all you need is a pair of eyeballs. You do not need any special equipment. What you do, you will see two images on the screen as you just cross your eyes slightly until you see another image in the centre about the same size as the two on either side. And if you look into the centre image, that will be the one in 3D. Keep trying. Most people can get it within, say, 5 minutes. And if you think you can't, well, every day you're viewing an X3D. It's just a slightly different way of looking at it. And don't give up. Within about 5 minutes, you will see the images in X3D and it will open up your viewing experience forever. And today, guys, our anomalies come courtesy of the Perseverance rover. And all of our anomalies shown in this video were taken on Sol 137 and were taken with the pair of Z Mastcams. So guys, for our first anomaly is this one, which I call the mummy. If you look at it, you can see some face detail. Now, that looks like a head and a torso and an arm. It could be just a rock, but it has got some markings on it. I think it's a mummy. And for our next anomalies, we've got quite a few in this. As you can see at the back, there is wreckage everywhere. Whatever that is, something bad happened on Mars. This thing here, whatever it is, seems to be hollow. There's a couple of holes in it, so God knows what that is. And we've got this. It looks as if this is a corner. But the main anomaly is this. As soon as I saw this, I thought, this is a head. There's the eye, there's the nose, and there's the mouth. Now, you need a wee bit more than that to say something's a face. Well, if you like, there's an ear for you as well. And I think the top has been broke off. And this may be part of, it could be an abstract sort of, maybe it was done with a Martian Picasso. It reminds me of a kind of Picasso-like thing. You can write in the comments what you think it could be, but that to me looks like a face. And here's another one of the weird and wonderful anomalies on Mars. Let's have a wee look. What drew my attention to it was the end here. It looks hollow and it looks weird. It certainly doesn't look like a rock. And if you look at the top here, there seems to be some sort of carving on it. And here as well, and here. So I don't know what's going on, and there's something buried in the sand here, whatever that is. But it definitely looks anomalous. If you look at this area here as well, it's a bit strange. Okay guys, for our next anomaly, spot the sandal. There it is there. Look, it looks like a Roman sandal. It looks like a foot. Look at that. That's a sandal. It must be. Could it be? Oh, we seem to have a hollow bit at the top. Well, your guess is as good as mine, but it looks like a sandal. And obviously there's some weird and wonderful stuff splattered all over the surface here. And this thing at the bottom whatever that is. It looks like a thing. Definitely some strange looking stuff all about here. And there looks as if there is something below the sand here and here. And for our next anomaly, or anomalies, okay, we've got a block here with some sort of carvings on it. And we've got this here with more carvings. And this here, this is our main anomaly. As you can see, that is no rock. Definitely not. Talking of weird, there's something going on here. That's not a rock, that's carved. You can see here. And of course the detail's been bleached out with NASA. Buggers. If you look at all this stuff, it's got markings on it of some kind. A wee box-like thing here. And it looks hollow. Now, I've got a better view of it. And then we've got this. It seems to be in two parts. The top of which you can see is heavily carved. And we've got this bit at the front. We've got two whatever. And you can see that they've done their best to get rid of the carvings on the side. And you can see an arc here. You can barely see it. Now they've done their best to get rid of this. And I've done my best to bring it back. And I think I've done a damn good job, to be honest with you. I do try. And then we've got this thing at the front. I believe it will be part of this. Maybe it was broke off here. There's a lot of strange stuff. And look at the sand. The markings in the sand. You can see there's stuff below it. And these things are part of it. Now if we look at this bit at the bottom here, you can see that that has got something as part of this, whatever it is. And you can see this continues below the sand, along with this and along with that. So it could be part of a structure, it could be a sculpture, it could be anything really. And then we've got this. Where do we start? We start with Cinderella's shoe. No, I'm only kidding. Whatever this is, it's no a rock. It's hollow. It looks like Cinderella's shoe. And we've got all this stuff. It's carved. And this. Anybody that thinks that's a rock or a couple of shillings short of a sixpence. And again, we've got stuff going on below the sand. And this thing here, it's kind of square. You can clearly see that's a thing. It's not just a rock. Now look at the sand here. We've got kind of pattern in the sand. You can see how this angle cuts in the way. How can sand stick to that? I'd love to know. In other words, NASA's been up to their old tricks, mapping garbage to hide stuff that's below. But we can see by the shadows that there's something there. Same here. And if you look all over. So these things are not just wee bits and pieces dotted about. They're part of something larger, which is below the sand. Okay, let's go on to our next anomaly. Oh, here's a wee boat. Does that look like a wee boat, or does that look like a wee boat? That's the pointy bit at the front, and that's the bit at the back. I think it's actually architectural detail. Got all this stuff at the back. But this, what caught my eye was this piece here, how beautifully carved it is. And we've got this bit at the top. You can see it's carved. It's definitely not a naturally shaped rock, especially at the front here, you can see. They must think we are stupid. That looks a wee bit like an upside down bit of Lego. And then there's this. I don't know what it is. Now, it may look a wee bit funny. This was really blacked out, and I had to do a wee bit of magic to bring out the, I believe it's hollow. Maybe it's corroded or been eroded over the years. And as you can see, if you look at that arc there and the way it's shaped, this is a sculpted form. And then there's this. Okay, so that looks like a fish. And look at the couple of eyes, snout, the mouth. But all this stuff, see, once you filter out the garbage and you look at it, that's either something mechanical or some carved. And this looks mechanical. And of course, look at the sand and you see a line. You see it perfectly straight. It goes down to that. So all these are part of something that could be structure, it could be a big sculpture, God knows what it is. But they all seem to be linked in some way. And we've got this, and it talks for itself. This used to be underwater at some point, and you're probably thinking, well, maybe microbes chewed these bits of rock and made them look like that. They must be Picasso microbes, because they create wonderful art. There are no microbe creates that sort of thing. And that's carved, whatever it is. And this is here. That's no microbes that's doing that. You can clearly see that is an intelligently sculpted and carved piece. God knows what it was for, but only the Martians know. And then we've got this. It looks as if we've got a crack here and a wee rivet or a bolt, one there too. We've got a wee appendage sticking onto the side, maybe some carving. And this piece here, it looks as if it's cracked. But that, guys, is some sort of box or whatever. But it definitely looks hollow. And then we've got this. Again, same sort of markings on this here. Well, let's take a wee look at this bit at the front. It looks perfectly flat and it looks sort of sculpted. You know, we've got an arc here and some sort of arc. This looks hollow. And we've got an arc, comes round and then continues. It seems to arc and then turn at a 90-degree angle. And it seems to be hollow. And it's part of this. If you look at the shape in the sand as well, this is part of, I would say, its architectural detail. And we've got some markings on this bit at the bottom as well. You can see it quite clearly. And you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that's hollow. And this as well, beautifully carved. Look at this piece here. So NASA, you're no fooling anybody. Here we have another piece of beautifully carved architectural detail. Bits all over the place. We seem to have all this linked under the sand. And you can see NASA's done their best to get rid of this beautifully carved piece. They've took out the shadows. And of course I've put them back in again as best I can. I mean, obviously it's not going to look like the pristine photograph they've got, but at least we can see it's no rocks. I believe these are, most of them are hollow, and it may be metal, could be concrete, it might be rock. The amount of sculptures and things I've found on Mars with bits of rebar and metal sticking out here is unbelievable. But I'll tell you one thing, that is not naturally formed. No way, no how. Look at the bit at the back here. That on its own should tell you. I mean, it's absolutely incredible workmanship. This piece here looks quite stunning. Anyway, that wraps up for this episode. And as usual, I'll pop all these in a zip file, or a RAR folder as I call them. I shall put it in the Google Drive. I'll put a link in the description along with the link for where you can download Stereo Photomaker. That's this program I'm using here, which allows you to zoom in and move about, pan about in X3D. There's no other program that allows you to do it. And Stereo Photomaker is free, so you've no excuse. Not only that, if you zoom right in, when it starts pixelating, it'll resample to smooth it out. It's really good to view the X3D images. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.